This conference will now be recorded.
Good. All right, so welcome everybody. So this is one of our many Spark sessions that Knowing Technologies is offering. We just kicked that off this week in response to all of the remote learning that's happening. We know that our teachers are needing some additional support right now, and so we're here to help. So this is the URL to get there, which I put in the chat window if you're just getting in. I wanted to just very quickly introduce Knowing Technologies if you're not familiar with us. So we are a technology company, a pretty comprehensive one. This is our team on the instructional side. So we are a combination of, we have a bunch of different backgrounds in the education space. All have been traditional classroom educators, and we have moved in a lot of different spaces, and we all are very much grounded and passionate in where technology and curriculum meet. And so this group is offering a bunch of Spark sessions this week, next week, and into the following weeks. And the other part of our company that Knowing Technologies provides is we also do a lot of managed services, managed IT services work. So comprehensively, we're on the IT side and on the instructional side. So this week we kicked off our Spark sessions. On Monday, we had a session on Zoom. We had a session on Flipgrid, and earlier today, we went through how to record on the iPad, if an iPad is the device that you're using. And earlier this afternoon around lunchtime, we were looking at the collaboration tool called Jamboard. So today, we're going to be focusing right now on how to create simple videos with more of a personal touch. And what I mean by that is it's going to get your voice, you can have your face while you're creating videos for your students. This is the lineup for the rest of the week. So if you're interested in any of these sessions, feel free to register and jump into those if you're available. All of the sessions will be recorded. So if you can't make the live recording, you will be able to see the published recorded version. We hope to have these continuing into the following week, so please kind of keep an eye out for them. So the way these sessions are designed, if this is your first one, your second one, or if you have more coming down the road, there's just quick bite-sized bits of information. Please use the comments option if there's things that pop up that you're like, I wonder about that, because we can all start to veer our presentation to make sure we're hitting all the questions that you have. We'll try our best to do so. If you have any suggestions or great ideas of how you see these tools could be used, feel free to throw them in there. We really want this to be a collaborative space where we're also generating ideas in the moment. You have the link, and remember, this is, I know, a very difficult time. We've all realized it's been a huge transition in a very short amount of time, and so the progress that you've made, just take a second, take that all in, be proud of that. Your students are learning, you're learning, and there's so much good stuff that is happening. May seem overwhelming, but hopefully these sessions and some of the other resources that we can provide will help you feel a little bit more confident as you're navigating this new territory. If you are not a KT partner currently, so meaning you don't work with us and you're interested in a more customized coaching solution beyond just these Spark sessions, feel free to send this contact information to a school administrator, and we'd be happy to chat with you on how we could help you in a more customized way. All right, so if you have this slide presentation up, you'll see all the resources from yesterday: Zoom, Flipgrid, and then today, this morning, screen recording, Jamboard, and now Loom. So you may have heard of Loom. This may be the first time. You may have heard of screencasts. This may be the first time. So the idea around Loom is that it's going to allow you to create videos where you can record what's on your screen, and it also will have you will have the ability to have your face in the corner of that video as well. So it allows, again, for that personal touch. So on this screen, you'll see a couple different examples. So I wanted to sort of have you guys think about, imagining if you were to create a video for your students. You had your laptop up, you had some sort of graphic up, maybe you have your learning management system up, and you wanted to walk your students through a few things. So this would be a great tool to do this. So it allows you to record your screen, it captures your voice, and it also shows your face. Before we continue with Loom in particular, there are a variety of screencasting tools that exist out there. This is not the only one. This is one that we really like, so we do encourage the use of this one. So just know, if you've heard of things like Screencastify or QuickTime, those are also other screencasting tools. So take a look at this list here. You'll see that these are some great examples. So when would you create a screencast for your students? Would you maybe the flipped classroom model where you can record a lesson and they can watch it? In this case, because it's remote learning, they are receiving videos at home. It's very non-traditional right now. How are we having students create these? So not only are you able to create these, you can show students how to create these. So if they're sending a video to you, it's them walking you through maybe a project or something smaller they're working on. It's a really great way to really capture everything that they are doing, or everything that you are doing. One thing that we've really encouraged a lot of our teachers to do is start thinking about video feedback. So say you have a paper up or a project or a lab, you could use Loom to provide student feedback. So you could have the recording going and have the paper up, and then you could be providing really meaningful and a lot more feedback to your students that are very personal. In addition, you'll see some other things. So I'll just give you a second to kind of digest some of this before we jump in there. And a little bit later in the session, we'll have one of our teachers from one of the schools that we work with. She'll share how she's used Loom in her science class. So if you have your browser up right now, ideally this works best in Chrome. So Chrome is, the reason why this is an ideal browser is because Loom is available as a Chrome extension, okay? And so what that means is when you go to install this, it will live up here in your extension option. So right here is my Loom Chrome extension. So if you guys click on this, this will show you the instructions of how to do this. And just as an aside, right now Loom is free to use all of its advanced features given the current situation. So Chrome extension, it'll live there. So if you're trying to install that now, it shouldn't take you too long. And then it also exists as a desktop app. And so in this link, it shows you how to install the desktop app, and the desktop app will live up here. The reason why this one is sometimes preferred over the Chrome extension is because it gives you a little bit more control, and you don't have to live in the browser to actually access it. So downloading the Loom app is ideal for many. And it does give you a couple more features that you don't get using the Chrome extension. All right. So again, these are resources here after the session. If you're wanting to go back, these are all, I've pulled these all together for you. In addition, there's some additional Loom inspiration of how these could be used. There's a lot of different ways, and we could spend, a lot of time talking through those. But I want to give you now kind of the general walkthrough of how you use the tool. So if you go to the way this works is you, hold on a second, I'm getting out of the, okay. So you go to useloom.com or loom.com, that'll bring you to your home page. It has a Google or Slack single sign-on. So if for schools that are Google schools, or you can just create a basic username and password, and that will get you in. So first, I want to show you the basic settings of the Chrome extension. So my Chrome extension is right here. I've installed it. Okay, what I do is I open it, and you'll see what pops up are all the essential features. Okay, hold on a sec. You guys, I want to pause because I see some questions rolling in. Okay, so the reason why you guys see that laser pointer is because on my GoToMeeting web conferencing tool, that is built into it. Other web conferencing tools also have that. That's where that comes from. So laser pointer, that's a really great, helpful tool as well. Okay, so the Chrome extension's here, and you'll see on my my right-hand side, there's a toolbar. So there's three major options that you can focus on. You can focus on, it's not liking me right now because I'm using my camera for the other conference. Hold on a sec. I'm going to turn this one off, and I'm going to turn this one on. Okay, I think I'm coming up. There I am. All right, so you can record your screen, which is your desktop, your entire desktop, or you can just record your screen only. So that will take me away, and then I can go down here and I can shut this guy off. Maybe you don't want to have that. We would really encourage you to do that, even if it makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable, just because it adds for that personal touch. And given the circumstances of remote learning, having more interaction and more seeing your facial expression and all of that, we really think that is a really good thing to do. So we encourage that. And if you just want to create a recording where it's just your camera only, use the cam only. It's not doing your screen at all. It's just doing you. And that could be really helpful in many situations. So in addition to that, so say you want to do something with your screen and your camera. And I'm going to bring this back, ideally. Okay, there I am. And microphone, make sure that's on. Advanced options would be in case you need it. You can adjust some of these. The control menu, which is right here. So these are the features that you're going to use while you're during the video that you're creating, or right at the end when you want to finish it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to now click Start Recording. And then it's going to say, okay, which screen do you want to share? Because I chose the screen option. And I'm going to click Share, and it's going to do the countdown, 3, 2, and 1. And so what I would have done now is I would have had the tabs all open that I wanted to use, that I wanted to walk my students through. If I ever feel like, oh, I want to get something else, I can pause the video down here. So you can pause it, which is great. Gives you a second to think. Maybe this is a longer video. All good. And then when you're ready to resume, you pick it back up, keep going, continue to explain things to your students. And then when you're done, all you have to do down here is press the finish recording. Okay, what Loom does then is it will show you your completed video. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, especially given the fact that we have the whole world using a lot of these tools right now. And so you'll see a lot of these comments up here, or these notifications saying processing time takes a while. It's not lost. So be patient with that. I know I've been very patient this week. So as your video is here, you can of course play it to see how it looks, see how you're feeling about it. If you get a great video on your first round, that's awesome. Not everyone has that usually happening, but maybe you will. Maybe you'll get lucky. And so what you can do here is you can go down here and you can change the title. All right, and then you can, down here, it'll also show you how many views. So when you do share it, it'll show you how many views. And I've had teachers saying this week, oh, I saw I had 17 views, and I saw that some of my students were logged into their Google account, so I could actually see their name. But if they weren't logged into their Google account, you actually couldn't see their name. And so it was helpful, but if they didn't have their name attached, it said anonymous, so it wasn't as helpful as it could be. So just a little side note on that. After you've created the video and you are looking to maybe cut parts of it out, there is a trimming tool here. So click on the trimming tool. And what you need to do here is you just need to click Start Trimming. And then find the section that you want to trim. Once you've found it, maybe it's the beginning, maybe it took you a while to start, which happens. You might have had it running for about 15 seconds and you want to trim that part out. just remove that. Okay, and then if you want to continue and find another spot, you can do so as well. So that's really up to you, and you'll notice the timeline feature down here. So that will help you to trim whatever you want, and then press remove. I'd also be kind to yourself and know that these videos don't need to be perfect. When we're up in front of students and in the classroom, not everything we're saying is always perfect. So don't be too hard on yourself. Trim what you want to trim, but I wouldn't probably spend too much time on that. And when you're done, all you have to do there is click publish changes. All right. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna cut these out, but you will be able to test that out on your own. If you want to add some sort of like extra touch to this, they also have this call to action button. So a call to action button will live on the screen right here, and you can call it like click here, and maybe that will go to a URL. Maybe it's like a link to a Google Doc or something like that. And what that will do is as the video is playing, they can click on that and it launches them to a specific place. Definitely not something you need to use, but I just wanted you guys to see that. So that's a call to action button. So between trimming and calling to action, those are the two I think that are probably most appropriate. Okay, so once you've kind of gone through that, you're basically now kind of putting the final touches on your video. So now the next step is, okay, well, what do I do with my video? How do I actually get it from Loom, which it's stored in the cloud under loom.com. So I would bookmark this. If you sometimes have a hard time navigating to different places, bookmark this page, and then you have a couple options. So if you actually want to download the Loom video, you can. So you can download it here. If you want to duplicate it, you can make a copy of it. If you want to delete it and start over, that's totally fine. There's that option. And then the sharing options are also here. So there's a link, there's an embed code. If you want to send it directly through Gmail, there's a great Loom Gmail add-on where it actually is embedded really beautifully in email. So if you are sending these through emails, I would check the Gmail extension. Actually, that's what it's called, the Loom Gmail extension. It's great there. Some teachers have asked us about privacy, and that's a really important thing with videos. So in earlier sessions that we've offered, we've talked about creating screen recordings on the iPad. We've talked about maybe using other screen recording tools. But then how do you share them to a larger audience? How do you get them from your device to the students? So there are a lot of different ways to do that. If you do download and then want to upload it to maybe a Google Drive or any sort of learning management system, you can do that. If you want to just send this link through Loom, but you want there to be one extra layer of privacy, you can add a password right here. So you can add a password and make it meaningful, obviously, and a more on the secure side. That's what we would recommend. And as you're sharing that link, make sure that you post what that password is for those users that you want to see it. So those are different features for privacy as it relates to our Loom link. So I think those are the preliminary kind of foundation features. Again, this is the Chrome extension, and these are the, this up here is the Loom app built in to my laptop now, and you'll see similar features, same settings. It does have a pen icon over here, which allows you to draw on the screen. So that's a bonus for the desktop app, is the ability to have this pen. So it allows you to draw on your screen and then it will fade away afterwards. And then also you have the ability down here to make it a larger screen. So if you're doing just the cam only, it can get nice and big for you. So that's another plus there. So I'm going to get rid of that. So I now wanted to, let me check and see if there's any, okay, there's a question here about, has anyone tried using Loom while simultaneously running Zoom? The answer is yes, I know teachers have, and I think it's definitely a possibility. It definitely can be successful. The challenge has been kind of with the Wi-Fi connection, the Wi-Fi speed. It's a lot for your computer, there's a lot going on. So that may be the issue if there are issues that are occurring, but it is possible, and we've seen that be successful. There was another question about Loom on the iPad. So Loom does have an iPad app. However, we have experienced this week that it's a little bit on the unreliable side. So while it is available on the iPad and it will link to your videos that maybe you created on your desktop, it hasn't been the most reliable app as of now. We've relied heavily on the laptop version, the Chrome extension, and the app, and it's been very reliable. So feel free to add more questions. I wanted to invite one of our teacher friends, Lindsay, and I was going to have her share a little bit about how she has been using Loom with her science class. Lindsay, are you there?
I am here. Hi, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks. Thank you.
How
Do you
do
want me
we,
to have you share your screen?
Yeah, how do you share your screen?
how do we send,
Okay,
how
I'm
do
going to
we send questions?
So in the questions, there's a chat bar in the upper right-hand corner of the GoToMeeting. It looks like a chat bubble. Just type that in there. All right, Lindsay. So I sent you over the presenter. Do you guys see Lindsay's screen? I don't see it yet.
So what do I have to do on my end to share my screen? Do I do screen?
You do screen share. Yep.
Okay, I think I have to go into my settings. Hold on, I have the spinny wheel.
Oh, it's okay.
Hold on, go to meeting. Oh, I would have to quit. I would have to quit in order to share my screen. Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. Just kidding. Okay.
Okay, great.
All right. So what I do for my class is I create, oh, while you were, I found a fun cursor for myself. So so for my class, I create specific notes for that day. Then I download them and I put them on my iPad, and then I make my iPad show up on my desktop, which there's like a couple ways to do that. Then, so here's my Loom with all of my folders. And then what I do is I just record myself going through my notes. So I'll show you an example. Hopefully it loads okay.
So I just went over the agenda with you on Zoom. So let's get into the essentially lecture for today. So we talked about homeostasis as this ability to maintain balance, and
so with my notes, I'm trying to keep it the same as I did in class. So what I'm doing on these notes is I'm actually writing and talking at the same time.
That the movement stops once the extracellular.
So I'm writing on my iPad and highlighting as I'm going through the lecture, as I would if I was in class. And I've actually found that this is great. This is so much better for students, because what they do is they bring up my video and then they bring up my notes and they watch my video and do their notes. And if they need to rewatch it, they can go back and they can rewatch it. Or if they don't need that, they can just pause it and take down my notes. If they get it, they get it. But it's really nice. It's like built in differentiation for our students that I didn't think that was gonna happen during distance learning, but it ended up being like really wonderful that that's happening. And one thing I want to say that Jim didn't mention, in your settings here, I always like to turn off comments and the emoji reactions. We don't need any of that type of stuff for these videos. I just like to turn that type of stuff off. And I just send the links and we post them on our learning management system. We have a way of taking attendance, and then I send the link that says, okay, click on this and let's get ready for today. So that's the way
I'd also add on that same setting area where it talks about showing analytics to the viewer and viewers can download. Just think about whether that seems appropriate for your context.
Yeah. For me, I think anyone can have these videos. It doesn't really matter. And if they want to download them and use them later, I think it's fine. But yeah, think about what you're showing. Definitely. And so I've been making a whole bunch of videos and I've just been organizing them because in Loom, you can organize them in folders. So once you start making a whole bunch of videos, it kind of gets overwhelming. So just know that there's an option to put them into different folders. And so here are all my different folders that I've been creating with Loom.
And so Lindsay, when you do your videos, you like putting your face up there, right? Does that add for that kind of extra special, like personal touch?
Yeah, it does. And it's funny because I'll say, so I start my class with Zoom where we all check in and maybe do a little activity together like a Kahoot or a Quizzes. And then I say, okay, go to your notes and go back to the Loom video. And then I say in my Loom video, like, I'm in a different outfit because I record them a day before when I meet with the kids. And they say it's funny. And that whole, when you were talking about trimming the video, I like just leave it to, I've gotten to the point where I'm making mistakes and I'm thinking, but it just makes you seem like you're still in class and how you are. I don't think the kids mind at all.
I agree. Okay, well, great. Thank you, Lindsay. There was a question in here about demoing the pen option. So the pen option in Loom, okay, let's see. So that's only again available on the Loom mobile app or the desktop app. The Zoom desktop app. So let me share my screen with you. All right, here we go. And this will be the last thing because we're just hitting 3:30 right now and I want to respect everyone's time. So I am gonna really quickly, once I open the Loom desktop app, I then will be able to scroll over to the far left-hand side and there is this pen option. So let me pull this down, open this up, start recording. It's gonna do my countdown for you. 3, 2, 1. And then it's going to start recording. And then I go over here. I have a couple different colors. I can change the thickness and then I can start using it and then it will fade away after a few seconds. And that's the pen option. All right. So I'd like to thank all of you guys for coming today. Thank you, Lindsay, for helping and sharing some of your examples as a science teacher in a high school setting. What I'll do is at the end of this, I'm going to add the recording to this session and you guys will have access to it. So you have to come back to this. I put the link in the chat feature so you guys will have that available. And don't forget that I'm going to back up to the original list, which is right here. So this is the schedule for the rest of the week. If you can join us and you need some help, this is going to be where we'll be available to you. And then we'll have a whole new round next week. All right. Take care. Good luck with everything. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.